Hello and welcome everyone, and especially welcome Raiders. Nice of you dropping by. Like I said, I had everything set up, so I really just needed to grab up a drink, and we can actually hop into the game. Um, so we'll be hopping in to the second game in the trilogy. So Justice for All. We are in the second case. We started it last time, and now we are going to actually get into the trial part of it. And situation isn't looking that well for Maya at the moment. And hoop. And yeah, don't mind the resolution will be wacky until we get to the actual game window. For some reason, the loading window, it's a completely separate entity from the game. I don't know why. I know that other games do that, but they never showcase on OBS like this one does. What? Have you actually spent all of your points? I remember that like there was that one stream where you spammed raid calls, but did you actually use it that much that you are out of points now? That's historical. Now, next thing we need to see is that Komi will spend all the points. But yeah, let's jump back into the game itself. And yeah, the bombshell of the last time. The prosecutor will be Von Karma. Well, a Karma, at least. Well, far as I know, if they haven't changed it, you can get points even by watching the watch themselves. I know it will help me with statistics overall, but it should also give you access to points. Drops, I know that for receiving drops you have to watch the stream live, so if you watch the old Don't Starve streams, you should not be able to get the drops, but you should still be able to get points. At least that's to my knowledge. They might have changed some systems, as they did change system how subs work, but talking about those is not a privilege I have, so I won't be talking about that, how it functions now. Yeah. Perfect letter for 40 years. The man who consumed his accent. Yeah, I look. They have never explained it, but you know that he must have used all the dirty tricks into the book. Because in the case, in the last game, not only he arranged witnesses, altered their statements, forced them to say what he wanted, he also hid old evidence, destroyed it, already in 5, assaulted the defense and their helper as well, while fleeing from the scene. So at least 8 criminal offenses in just that one case. Not to go with the spoiler part, so it would even out at 10. Yeah, I never really understood, like, how did she let Pearl just to get here alone? Like, she's been so overly protective of her, and she hasn't left the village before this point. Okay, I'll be seeing you later then, Goron. And yeah, it was like what was it? 6 hours on a train? Like, how? Explain it, bro. Oh, it was 2 hours, not 6. But anyway, if it's 2 hours on train, imagine how long it's going to take by legs. Especially tiny ass pearls. And yeah, she's this closeted, like she's this kept into the village and only in the training, that she doesn't even know what's up train. Well, you would think so, but Edgewood is going through weird things at the moment.
Objection!
I don't remember that in the original copy of the trilogy that they actually started playing the music here, nor had the effect. Like, I remember like this being just a grayed out, like a flashback scene, like the others. And come on, game, you just can't stop at 2.
Objection!
You have to at least have
Objection! Objection!
a couple more. And no, it's not what you think. And I don't really get like why it's built up like this. I don't remember how long of a time span it was. Like, it was after the 3rd game. But after those there were the spin-offs, which were all about him. But the way they phrased the situation here, imagine anyone who just picked up the 2nd game without playing the 1st one, or not knowing anything else. They would assume that he's dead, that he killed himself or something because nothing was told and it's just a sore spot. And there we have the prosecution for the case. Well, it makes sense. The defense is always the one spat upon. Yep, she is the karma. Like, I wouldn't want to go into emojis and titles, but there are some requirements, even if your name would contain the one. There are certain requirements for you to actually uphold it and keep it. It just sounds cool, so I assume that's why they really chose it for Von Karma. in the original, but let's not go into the topic of heraldry and shit like that. But it just feels wrong to add the one to this part, especially after the linchpin of the family has been arrested for his crimes. And if she legit had a promising career in Germany, she would not have left. Having a good career in Germany, that opens you the doors to get anywhere. And especially how making this personal, the court here shouldn't let her be the prosecutor. Not only you can't have personal stakes to the case, you can't have personal stakes to the opposition. You can't make the law personal. And yes, she assaults the judge without thinking. A whip like that will hurt like hell and leave marks quite easily. But you know that your father failed that miserably. Twice even. And I would like to point that... Oh yeah. This is her catchphrase, by the way. But yeah, I would like to note that it is canon that Manfred don't have an accent, even though he really looks like it. So the headcanon of many people is that he literally consumed his accent to gain his power. But meanwhile, she canonically has an accent. And it can be reasoned that Manfred stayed in Japan while his daughter went to Germany. So it would make sense in a way that the father wouldn't have an accent while the daughter has, because the daughter has been living abroad. It's the same thing as I have some distant relatives, like very distant, and some relatives of my, well, past neighbor. They have been deceased for a long while, but they have moved to the US. They have lived only a small part of their life in the US, like comparatively. We are talking about under 20% of their entire life there. But it has affected and given them such a distinct accent. And it's a very strong one. And she's being so much younger. And being especially working at that insanely young age in Germany, the language is going to stick. The accent is just going to... It's unavoidable. Yeah, like... It's funny how they even mention this and make this actual stake a pinpoint, because there are so many cases in the game, like in the game series, where that plea would have been like the thing to do, what any lawyer would have done, and it would have been seen as a natural thing. Like, yeah, this happened, there has to be a punishment because it was excess use of force for defense. But in most cases, the accused would have gotten free because they just tried to save their life. They didn't do anything bad out of a malicious purpose. So, but it's always a capital punishment for some random reason in those cases. And capital punishment is not the fanciest of way how it's done, let's just say, because it's meant to happen the way the justice system has it in Japan. So hanging is the way it's going to happen. And funny enough, in the Crazy Attorney Chronicles, it takes place in the UK. In the olden times, during those times, hanging was the way to do it as well. So the canonical way what's going to happen if you lose in almost all of the games means that whoever you try to defend is going to be hanged. So not pretty, not pretty. Well, it makes sense. And I wonder, like, how many times have he actually been a witness so far? Like, in his entire career, I mean, not just in the games, because in the games it's easy to count. But the amount of times that he has been the witness in the games, already at this point, should have made it clear that he shouldn't be. Because even the police seem to always have to state that they want the accused to be stated as being the one, because that's what their examinations of the case have led into believing. So the examinations look bad if it's declared to be otherwise. So everyone's against the defense. Everyone. And that shouldn't be that shocking. There was like the hugest case in the series, like overall, like the stakes and what it represents, was the 4th case in the first game. And overall in the history that's like law cases that's known about the series, the implications that were in that case was also resulted from a spirit channeling. So it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be that of a big deal anymore. Well, the things we know later on, there are others that feel it like to be that way even more. But yeah, this in essence is meant to be a locked room murder, so it does look clear from the get-go. But everyone knows it's not going to be. And we go into the actual testimony. Yeah, a shot to the forehead. usually not that good of a place to shoot, but it's usually a good place to aim. And a point-blank shot from someone not experienced, not a good thing, especially if the gun is strong. You definitely don't want to point-blank shoot. You might end up hurting yourself so badly. Even if you kill the target, the splatter might actually make you incapable of getting out of the scene as well. No joke. And since instantaneous death has been a point stated in multiple cases so far that have left into updating of autopsy reports, among other things, it has been highlighted, especially after the second time. Did it happen or did it not? And let's actually look at the autopsy record before it's been updated. So yeah, all we can see was being stabbed in the chest, shot in the forehead at the point blank. That's all. To press it because you want to press everything. There's only few cases in the entire series where you have to actually limit do you press something or not. And we have already seen one. I think only one so far. Everyone should care, it's an important part. Well, it had to be asked. You would have been a bad lawyer without asking that. And in a normal, real-life courtroom, these facts would have been brought up before we actually ever get anywhere near the actual courtroom. But I have said this thing in almost every stream so far. But I just love bringing up like legal truths about things. I just can't help it. Even though the series is so far from real law, it's so entertaining. And the fact that more you know about real laws and court procedures, the more enjoyable this gets. Because you get the, they did that wrong, they did this wrong. Some things are not that wrong because the legal system in the games is unique. It's different from what it is in reality. But some things are universal. And many of those things are broken in the games as well. And we're going to that. Whoop. Again, I pressed the wrong button there. Yeah, that's a quite big of a leap. And I don't know, that being inches, I wouldn't say that 20 inches is still in a point blank range. 20 centimeters for certain, that's when you're still in a point blank range. But 20 inches, no. Bolters can only shoot for 24 inches, so isn't that point blank of a range? But no one. I'm the only one who plays Warhammer. But yeah, bolter guns have mainly bolters, like not pistols, rifles, bolter rifles. Most bolter weapons overall, except pistols, have had a range of 24 inches for so many editions in a row now. At least 3, maybe even 4 editions in a row. Could actually even be longer. I haven't had access to the rules in other than the past 4 editions, so I can't be certain, but at least in the past 4. Yeah. Gunpowder burn is another thing that comes up quite frequently in the games. Fruit knife. Like, to me, it doesn't really look like a good fruit knife, but I'm not the one to peel fruits much anyway. Meaning that I don't eat that much fruits. They're expensive and not that nutritious, so... Yeah. Like, if it that's close to the heart, most likely the wound would have ended up being fatal anyway. But, well, we are not talking about instant death. That's the main point here. And why would, like, what's the point to use the pistol? If you already had that good knife wound there, and it's going to let into death anyway. But if you want to finish them off, just stab them again. They can't fight back anymore. Using the pistol just alerts everyone. Shouldn't that be a bit obvious here? Yeah, she's really going for the record how many times she can say fool in a single court case. Try to see, we'll actually see beat her own record in this the next case over this one. I never even attempted. It's a very hard task to count. It happens so much. But yeah, again, immediately we get the usual suspect. The 2 shots were fired. And when we looked at the autopsy report, it doesn't mention that there were multiple shots. Then we have the fruit knife. Yeah, it doesn't look like a good knife overall. Yeah, at the fourth, I can't talk today. That's obvious. But at first, yeah, it seems to be a real open and shut case. So we'll get the court record. Let's check. there's no place for anyone else to get in and out of the scene without noticing. There's only the one door, and it was locked. But then again, you have to think about the other means. Could someone have gone in and never left? That's an easy thing to do. There's many places to hide. Someone could have just been behind here for hours and hours and nobody would have noticed. But yeah, those kind of things would never be brought up in the court. Like the chances for everything like that would have been studied before the court. Not in this universe. There's not much room, no. If I would have just gone directly through, yeah, it would have been less than 10 minutes. But for the amount of extra dialogue I have had here, well, extra monologue, more likely, because I've been talking mainly to myself, it's been much longer than 10 minutes. It is a huge decision. One is going to cause that you're just going to lose. So of course we are pleading not guilty. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Even like in real life, when there is a situation where it's totally justified that you killed someone in self-defense, in most cases it won't be counted as fully justified, but even in cases when it is counted as fully justified, we are talking about a situation like the latest Friday the 13th movie. Like, Jason is not going to stop until he is dismembered. He's that insane of a creature. He will just try to kill you and everyone around you until he's dead. So it would be totally justified that you kill that monster as self-defense. Even so, you would still be labeled as a murderer. There would be certain things by law which you would now no longer have access to, and overall you will just live with that stigma for the rest of your life, and you can't get rid of it. And here we go. Yeah. The judge is completely under the heel here. The prosecution has all the control. The judge can't even state that, hey, he's the one who's supposed to run this show. And yeah, Gumshoe really don't want to do this, but he has to. The situation really looks like Maya has done it, so he's unable to do anything. Except, he has the same power that other individuals have. Because he's an acting police officer. he could state that he has a personal stake in this, and that would most likely be just stated for him because it's obvious that he's become friends with Phoenix. So he would be taken off the case. But then again, he might not want that to happen, so he could try to find all the evidence to get Maya off the hook. Yeah. I see what you did there, Goron. And yeah, that is randomly blood-shattered for certain. I wouldn't say it's covered in blood. There is a huge splatter in the middle, but that's a very dense splatter. You wouldn't see a splatter to be like that localized, especially if you stab someone. It's going to be much more splattery. It's going to have like these long strips where the blood is flowing from the force of the movement, and just the burst of the blood itself. It wouldn't be a smudge like that. Not much worse, no. And you gotta love, if you have paid attention, you must have noticed that the text speed alternates. It's not consistent. It depends on who is speaking and how are they speaking. And by looking at the speed, how the text is displayed, you can like define the speed of how the person will talk. Like for example, when we see Oldback, when he actually goes on her long speeches, you can't even read it. It's the same as you would be hearing someone's rant. You just can't listen into it. It just goes too fast. Also, I didn't mean to press on, I meant to press on, because we press everything. And let me actually check one thing, so I won't be missing out. Hold on. Yeah, no, I don't. Huh. Yeah, sorry for that. I just had to check that the TV is actually functioning as it should, because it hasn't moved for a second, but no, it was just that it was loading the stream. So it didn't cut off, at least I can see that it have cut off. Just the fact that Twitch has decided that it needs to load on the TV's end. I think this must be like the only case where he's able to do this to the judge. Like, it's always the prosecution or the witnesses that are able to do this to the judge, but not ever Phoenix. But at this one time. Well, normally, no. Because like, she is, in essence, in a priesthood position. You're normally meant to be using your service costume everywhere. Even when not on service, you're meant to use some sort of a robe of your position. If not the exact robe of office or situation. That's a very universal rule. Why would that even result into a shatter? It should be obvious. If it would be anyone else's blood, other than Maya's, of course, it should be it should be way more alarming. But where the heck this blood came from? Unless it's a blood of a random animal, because we are talking about the mystics, so it wouldn't be that weird that you would have to sacrifice an animal in order to do the right. It's a very, very common thing. But yeah, if it would have been Maya's blood, that would have made the situation immediately seen as a justified defense. What you mean not enough time? Oops. The judge has been on her side from the get-go because she just threatened to whip him. And well, did whip him. Like, both literally and... not literally. But... well, every time we have the option, we are going to push it. Perfect, you say? Well, let's actually look at it. There are board spots on it. We don't have access to a certain thing that would help us at this point. But if we look at... oh yeah, the profile itself won't showcase enough. But you can see that it looks a bit different, you know? There is one little thing. Well, there is never turning back. And, well, from the get-go, I would point out that, yeah, the blood spattering doesn't make any sense. But there's something else as well. Have you noticed what it could be? Could it be the blood spatters down here? Or maybe this one's here? Or the way that the light shines, that someone could have seen that it's worn off? Or could it be that there is something over here? And Goran already noticed in the chat it being a gunshot. Like, normally you would expect that a clothing will just have a random hole, but yeah, it is distinctly bullet shaped and sized. So we are going to point it out. Tiny hole. It's not that tiny, it's actually quite big of a hole. Because nobody put it in the report. But why didn't they? And they really just handed the clothing to the judge. He just stick his nose in there. Because if it faintly smells of it, you must have had your nose close to it. Yeah, the judge should get some recollect from that. smelling the young defendants voting like that. Also, I just have to bring up a funny fact. I'm sorry that I bring up the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles so much now, but I love the game, and since I'm playing that off streams at the same time as these streams are going, I have to love how in the English court, instead of the judge going order, 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 he goes order, order, order. The oldie way of saying it. It's the lovely small details. Now anyone should come to the conclusion that Maya was threatened to be shot, and that's why she did what she did. So again, we would turn up to the reasonable reason for self-defense and acceptable use of force. Other than the shooting, the stabbing would have been accepted. Shooting would be overboard. Well, it is an important thing. It shows that Maya was shot, almost shot. Well, there isn't evidence per se on that, no. And yeah, you are being hinted here strongly that there might be something. There's the thing. You might have gone through and not getting that fact yet. So the line is indicative of both. You actually have to bring it up. Because everyone is in the mindset that the person didn't fight back. So we have to present the now updated clothing that has the cruel bullet wound. Yeah, it must be. If your name is Dick, you're just going to be called Dick. And if your name is Gumshoe, the other one's not going with the old joke of calling you a dick, we'll just go calling you Gumshoe. Because both are horrible names to have, even though they mean the same thing. If you use the proper meaning, and that means a detective. Yep, it indeed would change absolutely everything. But here's the deal. The defense declared that they aren't going for the acceptable self-defense. So, yeah. Indeed, like the prosecution is going to state. But here's the deal. Even if the defense would plead not guilty, and it's now seen that the situation is most likely justified self-defense, it would still be trialed as justified self-defense and not a guilty. It doesn't automatically say that defense is going for not guilty, that they cannot change it back up or change to justify self-defense because the evidence is now clearly pointing towards that. Defense could outright refuse that they don't accept the justified self-defense, but it might still be trialed, like declared as such. But one karma's trap worked. Because in this universe, things are just... If our defense has said something, they are locked by it. While if a prosecution has said something, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, this is not a good idea. You want Gumshoe creating the scenario here. Gumshoe, who just automatically went and arrested Maya on the first time he met her, and left Phoenix just walk by without doing anything, just because there was one witness stating that the murderer was a woman. But there being a random man in this place as well should be enough that he would be detained for questioning as well. The way how that scene goes in the live action movie especially was a very funny one. I wish that I would have a legal way to watch that movie. It's a very great movie. The best video game movie out there. Okay, I'll be seeing you later then. Well, if you are going to be murdered, I'm going to blame it on you then, Goron. Well, I'll be seeing you. On some grounds it makes sense, but in many other grounds, no. Yeah, that's a very good thing to bring up. A late place to bring it up, but still. But here, the prosecution is bringing to a table a thing not backed up by science. A thing that they cannot prove in any way. A prosecution can't do that. The defense would have had the case multiple times if they could have pulled out this and claimed it to be. And I don't know, Nessus built wouldn't have made it that easy, but easier for certain. But oh heck, I can see that there's a phone call. I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a break here.
Governor Militant Alexander's naming of his capital proved highly premature, as Victory Bay saw his troops broken and slaughtered by the powers of chaos. Eliphas the Inheritor led an unholy procession through the streets of the shattered city, his cultists shouting out terrible supplications and gathering up the dead and wounded. These unfortunates were brought before the great Hellstorm cannon that had formed the center of the Imperial defense. Eliphas' sorcerers, Amphion and Zethus, then performed a terrifying ritual using these rotting corpses as their sacrifice. With their dark words, the demon of plague and rot, bound into the cannon during the Horus Heresy, awoke anew. The Word-Bearers celebrated this day as that when their new crusade obtained the support of Ner'gul, the Chaos God of pestilence and decay. To celebrate his victory over the Eldar, Eliphas had his men crack open all the aliens' waystones. According to the black texts circulated after this dark day, these eldritch gems held the souls of the Eldar, keeping them from feeding the powers of chaos. By breaking the waystones, the Word-Bearers fed thousands of Eldar souls to Slaanesh, the Chaos God of excess and decadence, and obtained that dark deity's favor for their dark crusade. Faithful subjects of the Emperor understandably took heart to see the Word-Bearers strike at the heart of the Necron infestation of Cronus. With two implacable evils turning on one another, the thinking went, the forces of Wright couldn't help but win. Unfortunately, Eliphas the Inheritor would emerge from his victory in the Thur Abyss Plateau more dangerous than ever. Imperial commanders could not guess that the Necrons held strange technologies and artifacts that were as hateful to the powers of chaos as they were to life itself. By shattering the basalt monoliths and unholy archives of the Necrons, Eliphas was striking at one of the only forces, other than the God Emperor himself, able to push back the ruinous powers. In so doing, he not only removed a threat to his power, but gained the favor of Tzench, one of the Chaos Gods of the Warp. His dark crusade would carry the sanction of the God of Sorcery from that day onward, making it all the more unstoppable.
Yep, terribly sorry about that. But I estimated that this would happen. Because I'm going to go home tomorrow. I received a random call about facts regarding that. Even though the participant who made that call knows that I would be streaming, but they don't care. So I had to go through with that, and I wouldn't be surprised that I would get a second call regarding the same thing before the stream is over. But at least let's continue. Yeah, Judge is not going to understand it, so it should not be counted. But she just threatens the judge, and it's just taken as a fact. That's a completely different thing though. When you lose blood involuntarily, it's going to have much greater of an effect than when you are losing blood voluntarily. It's like there's multiple factors to it, plus the fact that when you're giving blood, it's taken bit by bit by a professional, at least it should be, and they take way smaller amounts than what you would lose in a near artery stabbing. 10 times the distance? I want a measurement of dizziness. What would that unit be called? How would it be measured? How is this information just poof, flat out known? And yeah, like I understand him for taking the gun for things we won't know for a while. He's obviously taking precautions against something. Well, it doesn't really help that the victim, like, it doesn't really make a difference would, like, if the victim had taken the safety off before or not. You can accidentally find how it's done just by looking. It depends on the gun. Sometimes it's really hard, sometimes it's easy. And the main thing is that if you're just accepting that the possession was taking place during this, you would also just have to accept that, well, the nurse that was being summoned knew how to use a gun. Phoenix is immediately thinking that he's just going to shoot everyone here, get Maya into safety, and live his life as a loner in a random noodle shop, while a demented person would call him a son. And that's a reference to something. I hope people have been awake. Um, not the whole through. That's a pity, taking it far too long. Like forward. Finding a contradiction at this point is something, but not the truth. It's going to take us a bit further than that, but well. No, wait, which? My memory is a bit failing. Like, what part did I? Oh, yeah, it's this fact. It's this fact, isn't it? And you're gonna get it soon. Why we are going to present the costume. Because remember how the gumshoe was saying, victim took a shot but they were too close and missed. Doesn't make sense because of a fact that was already presented earlier. But unfortunately it's not stated anywhere, so I can imagine that anyone playing this for the first time would have not found this solution that easily. Yeah, because gunpowder burn was mentioned earlier, but it's not listed anywhere. You could have easily missed the mentioning of that. It's not something that's just universally accepted that games will, like, know and state. Because even in most movies, they just completely ignore that being a thing. And not movies, like, or TV shows and everything, all media. But yeah, ballistic weapons are rough. But like, kinetic weaponry is far superior. And you can have a kinetic weapon in orbit, but you cannot have a ballistic one. First, the ballistic one couldn't even fire because of the void. But secondly, it's illegal. But having a kinetic weaponry in orbit, it's completely legal. Even though the ones that have been developed are far more deadly. We are talking about the destructive capabilities of hundreds and hundreds of megatons of nukes. With a simple construction that's like 100th of the price. Well, she's going to. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. How does it? Well, we got one karma on the ropes for a second. Why? Why would they? It does make no sense! Because if the first stab wouldn't kill, you wouldn't push the person you're trying to kill further away just so you would like go in and attack them again. Because you are supposedly in the position of advantage. And after a stab like that, if you would push someone on the ground, they wouldn't have the strength to get their gun and shoot. And not the time even if you would use it as the attack plan. Well, now when we think about this, it doesn't really make sense now, doesn't it? Well, if we start thinking about the situation again, there is one piece of evidence which we have to take into consideration. Someone with very keen eyes might already notice it. It's something we found before the trial. I wouldn't say it directly goes against what we are thinking, but it's an important evidence, so I would assume that people will just eventually guess it, even though it doesn't feel like it's the exact thing to present here, but it is, as far as I remember it to be. Yeah, it is it. It is it. I can't talk today. They are indeed. You should know that by now. Yeah. The trajectory is extremely low. Now here's the thing. I don't remember like how accurately you had to do me with this. I might get this wrong. Because just by logic, it has to be in front, and it has to be in the rate. But how accurate did the game need me to be? So I'm just going to point it here. Yeah, so it was enough because it's near the folding screen. We have already gone through this. Yep, we've gone through this part already. But the prosecution always seems to just try to ignore and forget about convenient facts like that. Well, it does change a lot, but I wouldn't say it changes absolutely everything. It says one fact, but we don't know that yet. So we are going to say it. Changes everything. Yeah. That's an important question to ask. Why would someone trying to murder someone be squatting down in a corner? It's not a real corner, but in essence, it's a corner. Oof, indeed. She's so overly confident about this. It feels like it's been such a long time that we've been with Gumshoe. But it's going to change after the recess. Was this I didn't remember that it genuinely counts this as being one part. Like, definitely we are doing the next one now as well. I'm not going to stop now. It was a way too short of a part. How many parts were in total in this? I would remember that there would be in total 4 parts. So were just the last one like way longer? Because this one was extremely short. Yeah, that's true. Well, in many ways, yeah, he tricked. How are they going to do that, though? Because there wouldn't be anyone channeling them anymore. They say that Pearl is a prodigy, but we haven't seen Pearl doing any actual channeling. And if Maya was just supposed to do her first real channeling, it would take Pearl many years before they get to that point. So yeah. And so if you hear snapping in the background, it's just my bone snapping for some reason. Yeah, it's funny how the big sister is kinda left out of discussions. She's dead, but she was a huge influence on many things. And that would be not taken just as a assault, it would also be counted as disrespecting the law, and it would be counted as a attack on someone's capabilities. How was it actually stated in English? I know the term in Finnish, but in essence, not only you are attacking someone's honor, you are trying to attack their capabilities to do their terms of service. Like, you're attacking the vision of everyone of that person's capability to conduct their work. So it would be counted as at least 2 different offenses, most likely 5 different offenses at the same time, because the intention is there. Yeah, the judge is just happy to be under the heel. The face she makes when being whipped. Yeah, especially when the freaking witness is yelling that they're being attacked and the judge is still not going to do anything. That's fine. Like, at this moment, someone from the outside would call this trial to halt, wheel in the judge to safety and the witness as well, and arrest the prosecution. The judge is afraid for their life. And yeah, attacking the witness's honor as well. Not a good start for after the recess now, isn't it? No, I do not want to have someone crazy as the one karma present to be in my family. I will not accept it. She's whipping everyone. You would be wheeled in as insane for doing that. Yeah, I don't think I have ever seen this phrase outside this game. If someone has, please tell me, because I don't get it. With that face! It's like the entire scene is flipped on its head now, isn't it? Because we are looking through the the doorway, and the accused is standing near the doorway. When, like, so far, she has been stated being on the opposite way, and we already know that she's supposed to have been somewhere here during the first gunshot, like somewhere in this vicinity where the plant is. And especially looking at this angle, I'm afraid for the fire safety of this place. Those flames are almost touching the wood above them. It's a horror. The room is just a horror. There's so much material that will burn so easily. The walls are made of paper. Come on. Like, the prosecution has a point here, but yeah. So the objection would be counted as none because the defense surely knows for being there as well. But yeah, the judge is finally having some sensibility to them. The defense is not supposed to testify against their own client. The deepest sin you can do. But no one has been there to witness. Wasn't there anyone in there to begin with, though? And that's not brought up. Yeah, again, Phoenix is making a fool of himself here. Was I really the one who broke the door? Phoenix, why? Why are you phrasing everything like this? You know it! Like, everyone so far should know the situation to be this. And yeah, now, the defense is going to be the one witnessing again. Let me take that. And yeah, the Inquisition is happening on this side of the screen, not on that side of the screen. Although the whipping is a good clue that you might be dealing with the Inquisition. Although not these days anymore. Whipping has become very outdated. There are far more efficient ways to do things. And like, whips need you need to oil them and keep them in shape and clean them, and sometimes add ointments to them. Salt ointment is a very good way to make it way more efficient, for example, but then you need to clean it up real good afterwards. So yeah, whips are very high maintenance, so they have gone out of favor. Well, what we always do. Push it. Yeah, in this scene, she was facing the camera, but not in the picture. Well, you aren't going to get away with simple excuses on this one. To be honest, yeah, it is lacking at the moment, yeah. Don't be talking about rats. Because I need to think about something to eat. Like, that's going to be the point when I'm going to end the stream, when I figure it out. What to eat. Or maybe I just have to end at some point to go and actually figure it out. Well, I wonder. It was super bright in my opinion. It just had places where... It just had multiple places where anyone could have been. Like, legit, the flooring looks like you could be under it easily. The doorways were large, someone could be behind them. Or how about the forage screen? The most obvious place. Again with these phrases. No, you couldn't. You couldn't have. You were pushed out before you could have done that. And yeah, the judge has finally grown enough of a backbone to even question something. But it's about the words the witness is using, not about the context of what she's saying. Which is very disappointing when you think about it. And boom. Whipped into being quiet once more. You would think so, but again, there's no proof that anyone wasn't in the room to begin with. The judge is already against you, but here's the deal. Can we actually prove is it Maya or not? The answer is that we really don't have anything at the moment. No, you can't say that. You are going to come out as a bad prosecutor if you don't take things into consideration. You can, even when it's a shut and closed case, you still have to give it like, yeah, there is a very slight possibility of that something insane to have happened, but we have no proof of that, so it's not going to have been that. But you still need to present that, yeah, there might be a small odd. Because if it's proven that something happened, you're going to look like an ass if you were completely certain that there wasn't any other ways. So. Pedantics, but still. Yeah. Hello, Mia. It's been a long time now, haven't it? Yeah, this is the place where you really see that, oh shit. And when someone has actually been summoned from beyond the veil by a mystic, their body does indeed change. Pearl was just a tiny girl, and look at her now. Being possessed by Mia, she grew like 3 times her height. That's insane. No, the clothes shouldn't be even remotely fit. They didn't look even loose. Even if they would be loose, that's insane. It would, like, what would be a good comparison? Really, the comparison here would be that if you have a doll, and then boom, the doll would become an adult person, that the clothes would still fit. No. But anyway, it's just enough good of our event that I'm just gonna let it go. It's not our advantage. The court isn't in our favor. We have many advantages, but we are not in the lead. This is like we would be playing chess, and we would have good moves that we could do now. But we have lost way more pieces, and it's looking like we are going to lose. And I'm officially out of drink again. I'm not addicted at all, no. Not like I have to go tomorrow to get more because I couldn't carry enough because it rained today. Yeah, the judge is right on this case, but Von Karma is being an idiot. It doesn't matter even if you think that your case is perfect. The cross-examination is over. The judge was ready to just hit the gavel and declare. But you are pushing it further. You're giving the defense a chance. You are doing the worst thing you could be doing. How the hell did you get a job in Germany for giving your opposition a chance like this? And yeah, a judge is just being whipped into action once more. get why she became so happy all of a sudden. Comes part 2. Makes sense. Like, those who have never actually seen a dead body, a real dead body, live, not through just a picture or especially not through a video game or a movie, like really seeing a dead body. There is something in there, and there have been studies about it. It changes things on a person, the same as if you would kill someone. There's changes that happens after that. Just seeing a body is one of those things as well, and it has to be a human one. You could have seen countless of animal carcasses, no matter how bad and rotten they would have been. It's not going to have the same effect. It is backed by science, not only by experience. Like, doesn't she have any place to go? This is her entire entertainment. And even if she would win this case, what would it really change? She would not have avenged her father. She would have won a single case. But the fact is that her father is still in prison. Nothing changes regarding her father. No, you really haven't. You can't use any of the mysterious powers as any sort of evidence. Even by looking at the defense's bench now, that there's suddenly a small girl turned into a busty adult woman, still should be looked like, oh, no one just noticed that suddenly there is a new person in the defense seat. That's how it would be looked in the eyes of the law. Yeah, now Phoenix is really grasping at back straws. Yeah. Like, no, it wouldn't. Like, if they somehow were able to switch places, it wouldn't make the defendant chair an empty place, but it would make Phoenix's life awful. That the one that helped him so much is now all of a sudden gone and replaced by someone impersonating to be her. That would have been an extremely weird twist, but that would have meant that, well, Maya's actually gone. But let's just say a twist like that is a thing that happens in games. I'm not saying what game it happens in, but it happens in games I have played. And yeah, Lotta had a quick change of profession. And this, well, really during this case, so that new job is like the worst one she could have picked, though. Like, it makes money if you're good at it, but you will be hated by everyone. Any decent person would hate you. I don't read gossips at all. I don't care about celebrity news, one shit. But if I find that someone's a photographer taking those photos, I would be willing to punch them. They are just intruding on the privacy of people who usually don't deserve it. Some I would say would deserve it, but normal cases, everyone deserves their privacy. What the difference would that make, though? Please explain to me, Wright. Yeah, that is weird, isn't it? Where is the other picture? Are you hiding another picture from the court system again? Like you did last time. Can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. It doesn't matter. Show us the picture. And here we go again. Prosecution demanding witness not to give their full testimony and give all the evidence. And they're never going to get into any trouble because of this. Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I have no recollection. Will anything change depending on what you say here? I'm not sure, but I really want to confront, so I'm going to confront. We know that the judge is already being whipped anyway, so... Yes, very much contempt of court. You're a school child. That's a valid question regarding Phoenix, actually. Like, the entire reason why he is in this court is because of an accident that happened in school. He's very much acting based on that. But yeah. Sorry to say, even though it feels like the last break wasn't that a long time ago, I'm actually now needing one break right now. So I'll be right back. Don't you worry, I will finish this part, at least this part today. But I need, like, actually need the break at the moment. My throat is getting sour, my drink is out, and I would like to visit the sandbox as well. So I'll be right back.
The planet Cronus, beset on all sides by the tides of war, this once quiet colony became a savage battlefield. 7 armies clashed on this one world, each refusing to back down, each convinced it was in the right. From beneath the sands of Cronus' central desert came the Necrons, ancient machines bent on eradicating all life. But another evil already had its eyes on the planet. From the depths of the warp, the demonic forces of chaos arrived to enforce their claim. To oppose these fearsome powers, the planet's rulers in the Tau Empire sent their elite soldiers and sophisticated battlesuits into the fray. From the mighty Imperium of Man came the Imperial Guard, there to secure Cronus for the glory of the God Emperor. Like a green tide, the Orc horde descended on Cronus, caring little for others' claims and sowing destruction in its wake. The Eldar, ancient enemies of the Necrons, emerged from their webway to pursue their own agenda on Cronus. And last came the Space Marines, finest and most uncompromising of the Imperium soldiers. Seeing a world beset by aliens and heretics, they undertook a great purge. A dark crusade had begun. It could only end with the total victory of one of these factions, and the total defeat of all others.
And I'm back. And funny enough, a similar thing happened now at that happened last Friday during Goron's stream while we were playing Among Us. I was suddenly assaulted by these bugs, like giant mosquito bugs. I still haven't checked like what they are actually called, because they are not actually mosquitoes. But they really look like them, and they are giant. So, while I was brewing my drink, 2 more flew into the house. So, well, I closed the window for the day, and I managed to hunt one of them down. So don't be surprised if I'm just suddenly slapping the air and yelling murder at something. If it just bothers to appear here, like the last ones did. Yeah. Look at the suit. The blood is a completely different manner in this than the one in the evidence, isn't it? Yeah, that looks nothing like. And this should be enough that even the judge should be capable of getting under the hill just enough. If nothing else, hide under the desk, call for the bailiff, arrest Von Karma. She hid an important piece of evidence. Well, here's the bad deal about this though. If we say it's not her, how are we going to prove it? But if we just drop it, it's going to be left on that. So yeah, we already know that the prosecution will go on to the techniques that it will change the body, even though that should not be accepted as any sort of evidence. We are still going to insist. Too soft. All the things we have heard about them, and we never have seen them. Yeah, Karma is going to bring up the fact that wouldn't be accepted in any court anywhere, but we already know that. How did she get this picture? How? And looking at the angle, the camera had to have been behind, right? That would not have. No one would accept this, because there is no proof from that photo alone that the person in there is Phoenix, or that the person in there is Maya, or Mia even. It is the truth, but you can't prove it. No, like even if you would showcase it, it wouldn't be accepted by the court. It's spiritual. It wouldn't be accepted. And defense would have won a couple of times already if this would be accepted, but no, it won't be accepted from defense. And yeah, that's also it. The picture in itself is completely illegal. But you framed it as evidence. You would be trialed as you would have claimed it as evidence, because you framed it in such manner. You presented to everyone in that manner that it would have been evidence. It doesn't matter, did you actually present it as evidence or not? Everyone's already considering it to be such. Yeah, she's even kinda admitting what she did. And nobody's going to raise anything against her because everyone's afraid of the whip. So imagine, what's the next prosecutor is going to have? It's just a flat out gun. Do as I say or I shoot. I'm glad that they didn't go that route. But still. That is true. Now here's the thing, I don't actually remember. Do I have something or not? Oh yes, I do have something. We already have a piece of evidence. Because this shows the missing link. Well, a hole, missing hole. It's just trying to remember all of this. It's sometimes a bit hard. Like, it's such a small factor that I could have completely ignored it on the first scans and first playthrough. And I remember that I did get it right, but I did get errors here and there. It's somewhere around here. So let's press it there. Okay, it's good enough that I hit the sleeve. Yeah, that's exactly what's the wrong thing here. Like, Judge, now grow a spine. Get her out. She's breaking the law in so many ways. Not only assaulting you, she's hiding evidence. Yeah, because the judge is never going to put that penalty forth. Yeah, we all know it. She's doing everything she can to win. Like her dear papa. No! Francesca's idea of the perfect case is not fascinating at all. She's just claiming she's doing everything perfect. When something doesn't go her way, she's just trying to play it off like, aha, it's exactly like I planned. People like that, like when they actually get somewhere in their life, it really infuriates me. Because they never should. When you play it as an act, like just for fun, that's okay. Those kind of people usually are like fun. Like they are the main characters of movies. It's okay. But when we get the usual liar reveal story about them in the end, I'm just fed up with those. It just happens far too often in movies. There's just too many movies like that. Yeah, Gumshoe already has a negative paycheck. Eventually he's going to go so far in the negative in the paycheck that it will become the maximum positive. It will just be the largest number of 9s that it can be in a row. So it would take like a hourly wage, because you cannot go under an hourly wage, that the entire planet would be forever in debt to Gumshoe. But it's never going to be brought up. Well, the picture, like, in essence, it could be fake, but what I would say it would be fake, that's just obvious, isn't it? The bullet hole could have been made later. It kind of would make some parts of the other evidence we have seen more reasonable, but that would destroy our case. But what out if the shooter is someone else? That's the case we are going for. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to prove that. You just got to dance. Like, if they're the same thing as with Might and Magics, all of the Ace Attorney games just have bangers of songs. What do you mean throwed? What do you mean throwed? Again, not only that she just assaulted again the judge, he assaulted the judge, the defense, and the witness at the same time. And again, yeah, like, you're not getting anywhere by whipping the witness, especially when the witness is the one with the backbone saying that she's been maltreated here. Like, I wish, but everyone already knows that no one's going to do anything about it. And now, on top of those constant assaults she's doing, she's threatening the witness that she will kill her if she finds her to be lying. We know that there are at least security guards on doors, and there is the bailiff. The bailiff have actually done things during other cases as well, so like at like this amount of outrage and whipping she has done, most likely she should be tased. Someone would just tase her. That's what would happen in real life. And like, the other accusers that have happened before, hiding evidence, creating evidence, affecting like witness testimonies, so many things. She would lose her license and her freedom because she would be in jail for a long time. Again, no one has gone to the position that someone was there to begin with. Like, I bet someone has already done the calculations. How many times does she whip people in the game? I bet that's somewhere. And I bet it's going to be in high 3 digits. Okay, Gordon, I will see if they are still streaming after we are done. And there's the magic word. Yep, it entirely the other way. This should be the first thing. This should have been the first thing people should have thought about. But only now, Phoenix is the only one thinking about this. Well, but here's the thing. We don't know how to explain any of this, but the only way we can think that this has happened is that Maya had left the room somehow. And then again with the disrespecting the honor of the opposition. Another action worth of a penalty, if not even a crime label, depending on the country and how it would be viewed. Saying someone's a fool might not be enough to be counted as an actual offense. It might just be counted as bad sportsmanship. She gets away with a lot. She's like the prosecutor that gets away with the most. I'm just going to flat out say it. There are other prosecutors that do insane things, but no one gets away with as much as shit as she does. Well, now we need to prove somehow that Maya hasn't been in the room. We don't know how, but there is something in our possession which we shouldn't have. And that's the key. Pearl gave us the key, but how did she have it? Oi, not taking my crossbows. I don't believe you have a crossbow capable of getting 22 people in a short span of time. It sounds like one of mine. Well, what's the quick-fire mechanism? How many bolts and what type of bolts can it fire if you can take out 22 targets in a short span of time? Sounds fishy. What? What do you mean your friend gave it to you, but you paid 100 bucks? Okay, so you bought it from your friend, okay. But 100? And since you defined bucks, I would assume that it was bought in the US. Sounds quite high. Because in certain states, don't you get a handgun for under 100 bucks? Like, I know that a good crossbow costs way more than that. The one I was used to use, it was custom made, but if you put all the price in, like if you would pay someone to make it for you, they are not going to make it for you, but if you would, it would cost like almost 2,000. It would be worth more than my car. Well, you know that the name for doors a bug comes from the fact that with a single door you were able to buy, like that was like the worth of a single deer, like the meat and the skin. It was worth one door. I wish that meat would be that cheap. I would have no issues about food if that would be the case. Still. Wait, a video game crossbow? You paid 100 for? What? What game? Broke. How? I'm putting you on trial next. Thank you. And yeah, she just admits that she's going to do everything. Like, how more can she break the law than what she hasn't done already? Everyone would think. Huh? What? What do you mean, Goran? Did I read that right, or don't I just understand what you want on about? So... to be honest, like... Oh! I didn't see it because I can't see it on my screen. I can only see it on the stream screen itself. Okay, I didn't even notice that there's 12 days left on it. It's like on my screen, the background for it is way too white. I can't read it myself at the moment. But I'm not, like, I cannot make it dynamic so it will be easier to see. And it's not bigger deal if people can't see the time limit on it anyway, so... Yeah, the fact that Pearl somehow managed to get over here, it's a miracle enough. Thinking that she would go back on her own, yeah, that's too much. And yeah, she didn't know what a train is, so how would she know what tickets are? And I wouldn't say sheltered. If you don't know at that age what is a train, well, I understand that at that age you would have never used a train, but not to know what a train is, that's not sheltered, that's that you are being kept away from the world. But here's the deal. Last time I only did one full part. Now I have done like the second full part. Because we are going to go in the investigation next. But still, Tomac the Tan Engine still teach you what is a train and approximately how they function. They have to go on rails and they are not that fast to stop and basic things like that. But still. But back to the topic at hand. I would be wishing to continue, but I'm not sure like how long it would take to go through the third part. And after the third part, of course, there would be the fourth part. But then again, I know that there's no way I'm going to do both the third and the fourth today. But could I do the third? Or will I go through the third like somewhere halfway? But when I would know when I'm at the halfway, because you can do certain things out of order. So defining the third, like where is halfway is pretty hard. Anyway, I do want to continue, so let's continue. It's not all just about the energy. Like, I have to admit, during the stream, I have been sorting out cards as well. Because I need to do this by tomorrow. And I've only gone down to the color black. And I just barely started that. But then again, I did arrange white and blue quite quickly yesterday. So it's not going to take that much longer time. Oh, thank you, Goran. Can't even remember the last time someone has used that command. And wait, how did you gain enough coins already? Or were you just about lacking them? Oh, I'm gonna give a bonus sip because it's been a while. Ugh. Yeah, the water tastes awful here, but it's good. It's good for me. Wait, how? How did you gain so much? That doesn't make any sense to me. Could it be that you gain points faster because you have done donations? I haven't checked like how fast people get points, but that sounds like you get the points quite fast. It just feels that way at least. I don't recall, can we actually get something new? Funny how the mountains is in the thing mentioned. You can't see them in the city, so I would have thought that you could get something out of it. But no, it never gives out anything. But let's test out. Do we get some new responses? Because I can't remember. That doesn't really explain anything. In many religions, almost anything can house spirits. And that being a large piece, like a large venerated stone, it needs more definition. Why it's venerated? So yeah, we do get some bit of new things, like, well, of course, that's the one Phoenix used to call the police. Wait a minute. Have they mentioned that there is no phone service here? Or why didn't Phoenix use his phone? He has a phone. It was a part in the first case in this game. My memory is failing. But yeah, this is the same as last time, and yeah, 3 times a day is still good. I can't get home with the bus. Not even to the 6 kilometers point anymore. The entire city doesn't get buses from here anymore. They just stopped. And they have stopped many train rides as well. Like, you would think that because they need to get the train from north to south, because they always leave, like the first rows always leave from south. So at the end of the day, they would need to get the train from the north to the south somehow. Why wouldn't they have a line going from north to south as being the last line of the day? For some reason, no. They just drive the empty train all the way back without taking anyone in, because it's somehow more affordable to do it that way instead of having there to be people who would be paying for that ride. Like, the logic that the train company here has is non-existent. They have a monopoly, so why would they care? They are making so much money because their services are so expensive. Oh, let's present our badge. I don't think I've been able to do that close. That's actually quite adorable. Oh yeah, she's kinda acting as the assistant at the moment, but let's go through this. Bad attitude is not anywhere near it. It's way too kind. I wish she could do something actually. Because I bet that Pearl could actually kick Francesca's ass if she tried. Yeah, that's been the case with every prosecutor, except Edgy Boy. He did care in the last ones. But only at the last moments. We're all honest. And again, he's like, Edward is dead. Ihivert. It wasn't that long time ago. It was like what? What is it? Like a month? 2 months? Half year at most? Died? Why do you say died? No, Edward is not dead. That's why I'm so confused about all of this. Like, why is Phoenix acting like he would be dead? He's not dead. He's never meant to be dead. He's starring his own games. Like, at the very moment when this case is happening, he's like, Edward is on his own adventures. The cases in those happen at the same time. I think maybe like the first case is happening at this very moment, because in many others Gumshoe is present, and Gumshoe cannot be present like right now because, well, he's involved with this case. We have to question the alibi. Because it's odd how she's been completely left out of every discussion so far. Huh? Like what? No! No, go on. You can't use the joke against me. No! Why didn't I say that? It would have been the perfect moment to say it at the beginning of the episode. No. And no, I'm not thanking Radio, because I like copying that joke constantly. Radio is not the inventor of it. Neither am I, but I'm the one who usually says it most. Phoenix, you can't make a promise like that. Because you need to win this case. Yeah, she even admits that she's lying. Well, it's locked. I don't remember what we need to get past it, but let's check. I'm almost certain that we need a certain piece of evidence to get through this, and I don't remember exactly where we get it, but we'll see. This one I should be able to guess. I I'm almost certain that she was in the vinyl. Oh no. Yeah. So I don't have the piece of evidence, so this is all we're gonna get now. And I wish that I could just get exactly to this point, but no, we have to go through that entire thing in order to advance. And yeah, here's the funny thing. Remember that it takes 2 hours on a train. We could just waste 2 hours and go back to the detention center. But let's go to the meditation room. Is there something new? No, that's the same one as we have seen before. I would assume this one as well. And who dares to message me at this moment? Oh. It's actually in the miniature group. I don't know what the hell they are listening into. But they are going to paint some spiders. And their paint setup is pretty nice. Surprisingly, they have less space than I do. But they have good organizational items to make it more functional. Plus, way less paints than I do. Surprisingly, they have way more contrast paints than I would have assumed. Especially since this person had mentioned that contrast paints don't get that good of an end result. Like, I like the result they make, but it's not like masterful. There's a lot of cleaning and adding to it if you want to do like an actual masterpiece, so you get better results without them in that manner. But what you want just to have the figures looking nice on the battlefield, contrast paints are very good for that. Let's see. I think that the help command is still up to date. I don't recall that there is any command that's missing from it. I can't make it automatic. That's the thing. But you can use bits in order to make the sound happening. That's a thing that can be done. But if I would just make it a command somehow, I'm not even sure how hard it would be to do. But the end result wouldn't be pretty, let's just say. But yeah, the voice mod, no, not the voice mod, but the voice module extension, it allows it to be done. I don't remember, have I put it into as a bit emote yet as well? It might be both. I just don't remember. I haven't edited the bit emotes in a long while. I should add more, but I haven't really had ideas what more to add. Because I have ideas what to add, but there needs to be some sort of connection to the number as well. Many complain that they want something to like round out the bits they have. So I need numbers good for that as well. So I'm not getting really anything new. Well, we have already studied the incinerator. Yeah, absolutely nothing new was gained. Let's actually move into the side room itself. We won't leave them alone. We will examine the box. It's not big for clothes. Like, that's a very odd thing to even say. Yeah, we still can't do anything about it, it seems. Yeah, I would assume that all of these are the same as they were. Yeah, these are the same as they used to be. So let's actually move back. No, not here. Move back. And move back. I was looking at the chat, so I didn't really see what I was doing. And let's go to the chamber. Like, she is facing us, isn't she? Because that's the folding screen, and that's the altar. So we are actually seeing the horrible face she is doing. Yeah, nothing fishy at all, no. And immediately drinking the tea. That event. And we know that you were there. At least we are told that you were there. Like, we got on conflicting results. Like, we were told that she was looking after the acolytes and that she was there. I think there might have been a translation error. So maybe she's like, I would at least assume that she's meant to just be around here. But how would she not have noticed that Pearl is gone if she actually was here? Well, let's present our badge. And we just get a generic response. So let's talk. But here's the deal. Why wasn't she made into witness already? She was there when everything went down, so she should have been a witness from the get-go. It's understandable that well, what was her name? That Eenie Miney. That she wouldn't be taken as a witness because of her records. She was asleep doing everything. That would be understandable. But Morgan was there. about the training. And yeah. Wait, how can't Wright remember this? But already she's adding the title Mystic to Pearl as well. Yeah, that's going a bit too far. Didn't even remember that she already did that. The Master. Yeah. Simply disappeared. Unfortunately, that's gonna be that. But 4 years? Forever erased. That's a very harsh sounding thing, isn't it? It doesn't matter if they are considered dead, if you're going to erase her. Jeez. But this makes sense. Of course they should appoint a new master if the old master is gone for a long while. But I think 20 years is a bit too long of a time, you know? Like, that's considered a lifetime in many countries. But they should at least have like a vice position that then would be elevated like after that time. But the vice leader should have all the power and acting during that time, like when they have been gone for, let's say, over a year. Even over a year of missing should be enough to like go to action. And maybe if they have been gone missing for 5 years, that's the point where you just declare, yeah, they have to be dead. Where else could someone be if there's no communication for 5 years? Even if you would be run from the law from somewhere, you would get a message through, one way or another. But yeah, what's that? Is there anything I could study here at the moment? And this is the exact same as it was last time. Yeah, this is the same as it was last time. Let's slide over and look at the blood, which I think must be the same as last time. Yeah, seems like to be the same. I don't think I can find anything by studying here. Let's move back to the meditation room. Now, don't say that I actually had to go back. No, wait. I didn't do something obvious. Because it was mentioned and we got the speech, but I think I have to present the key. So yeah, there we got the information in the incinerator. Yeah, she's been really, really caged. Like, it should be considered normal that a kid would want to like study like what remains of a trash, or like what remains unburned. Even nowadays, I'm interested. Like back home, looking at the incinerator, like what's left in the ashes. You sometimes find interesting metal pieces from some random things. Sometimes there have been like a complete sort of clockwork thing, like a cog and some like no other cogs, but what to call it? Like it's a stick that has like those sprockets, like a cog would have. But one time I found those in the ashes, so that means that they were for some reason like put inside the wood pieces that were burned. Yeah, you find interesting things in ashes sometimes. That's what I was all about. So now only now we were supposed to go into the winding way when we have that piece of information. And somehow Eeny, Miny, but not Mo, appeared here. With the light of current circumstances, not so much should be happening that you should be interested in, so... Well, to be honest, it doesn't look at all like an urn, but... Well, we just have to accept that it is an urn. Let's show us the patch. Oh yeah, she actually had this response earlier already. I forgot that she actually had a response. Let's talk about the urn. I am. Should we write Sinistar under here? Because I indeed hunger. Rawr. I should get that clip to be used. Although I would need another set of buttons. Like the mini stream deck. That would actually help me using the voice things a lot better during streams. Because for every category and every other like thing, I need to dedicate one of the buttons in order to get to it. Like many folders in the stream deck at the moment are just, you know, filled with other folders, so it slows down the usage. But at least I can do the things like this pretty quickly when I'm in the front page, but when I'm not in the front page, then Corner Cat is going to be very concerned, because it's going to take time to actually get to things. No, I don't think it's romantic at all. It sounds like What's the word in English again? I know it in Latin, but we are talking in essence a kind of reverse phylactery. Instead of housing just the soul of someone or piece of a soul of someone so they can remain in this dimension, it holds the soul of someone to act as a battery. It doesn't sound romantic at all. It sounds like horror. A soul is being kept just so some others would gain more power. That sounds like a me kind of deal. So very non-romantic. Why you say it could be a vital coup? Like, I'm gonna admit it's going to be a coup, but why would you think that it's going to be a coup? What do you mean there were no other murders here? Yeah, and like this is a good excuse. She would have been kept out of the case. Because being in an enclosed space relatively far from happenings. The accident. And I just gotta love how untacky Phoenix is here. Like, after not getting anything out of her, alright then, why don't you tell about your sister's fatal accident? Like, Phoenix, come on, you just can't go to someone and talk about their loved one dying out of the blue. Yeah, it shouldn't have anything to do with it, but well, ooh, there are locks. And again, I have no idea, can I actually do it now or not? So let's see. I don't remember every detail, but I have a feeling we might be missing something, so we might need to do this later. Let's try it at least. Well, the accident thing, there could have been many other accidents what to talk about. Maybe like the accident that happened here? The murder? But, well, we were on the topic of her sister's accident already, so... Now I'm not sure which one, like, was it this? Another accident. But I have a feeling that I'm not able to get this done yet. Oh, wait. Wait. Didn't she say... Oh yeah, I think I should be able to. Yep, she did say it, so... Yeah. She was also in an accident. Like, you just have to remember that you have already stated as such. But, well, we do have the clipping number 2. Wait, what? Did I present the wrong thing? When I supposed to use that? Whoops. Oh, now I get it. We are going to need to use this, but we need to update it first. So that means we can't do this yet. Because it doesn't say the fact that both of the sisters were in the car. We need to talk about that later. So we have 2 liars, which we can't do anything about yet. But let's now study the urn, because we now know it's important for some reason. That's actually quite funny, when you think about it. I am not just allied master computer, but cognito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. I love that game. But I'm not going to stream it. It's a super heavy game. It might even be not allowed because of certain factors in it. I doubt it, but it might not. Plus, it's so hard. It's easy to make mistakes. I don't want to stream it, but I love the game. Okay, I'll be seeing you later. I won't be continuing long anyway, so you won't be missing much. Yeah, we found the gold scrap. Then what's doing here? Oh, and we can study it again. Yeah, funny enough, it's pretty obvious. Played a part in all of this, like it always should have been. I'm just surprised that why are they burning the suit now and not during the trial or anywhere earlier? Like, well, part of it has to have been burned earlier because the key was already found, but why were those pieces on the outside now? That's what I'm really confused about. But maybe the piece of evidence we need will be in the side room now. No, I don't see it. Now I'm starting to remember, how did I get that one piece of evidence? Because I need something. I think I must travel back and forth. Because Pearl is supposed to remain here, so maybe I need to travel back in order to actually advance things here. Let's test the chamber. I don't think there is anything else I can... Yeah, there's nothing else I can talk to. So that hasn't changed yet. So we'll go to the village. But yeah, I've been on for 3 hours now. I think this is a good place to stop. So we have things to do here on this part, and then we have the part 4. So we have a bit more than just a single part to complete next time. I might be like halfway about this part. I don't remember this being so long. So yeah, maybe like halfway this part. Or maybe not just like, but kinda there somewhere. So let me end here. You might have already even heard my stomach. I'm hungry. I need to find something to eat, so this is going to be the spot. So let's actually let that go in the background. So we have some tunes to get our raid going. But yeah, let me check, is the channel go around and use the points still streaming, and what are they streaming? There's the channel name. There we go. Somehow I bet that they aren't streaming anymore. That means I will just have to refund go run on that, but let's see. I don't think they are streaming anymore. No, they aren't streaming anymore. Why did that suddenly start with sounds? I have sounds muted on Twitch. But yeah, they don't seem to be online anymore. So we are going to raid someone else. I think we are going to raid the usual suspect. Just for the fact that I get to go and find something to eat sooner. But yeah, I'd like to thank everyone so much for joining today. And if you want to see some more Ace Attorney, that's continuing from the exact point where we stopped now, that's going to happen next Thursday. But before that, you will see me next Monday for more Battlefield Gothic 2. Then on Tuesday we are going to start the Might and Magic 7. Sorry about that. My mic just decided to reboot. I don't know why, it has been doing this for a while. I didn't notice when it cut off, so I'm going to repeat it. So, thank you for everyone joining me today. Next time you're going to see me on Monday, which is for more Battlefield Gothic 2. I think we are going to get like nearer the end of it. Maybe there's like 2 more chapters or something like that. It's gonna take a while, but we are getting there. And on Tuesday is something I'm really excited for. We are going to start Might and Magic 7. As far as I remember, I haven't ever done a complete playthrough of it. I never had a copy of it before. I've seen some playthroughs, but I never played it myself. So it's going to be very new. So expect me to fumble way more than I did with Might and Magic 6. But yeah, then next Thursday we're going to continue with this case where we left it off. But now, let's raid someone who's going to play this game at some point as well. But maybe only after I have already at least mostly completed it. We are on a race at this point. So let's raid Scar. Again, and for the last time, thank you so much for everyone joining. You are raiding. Bye for now.